You have to measure it. You have to put a wheel in it. It doesn't. Okay, but you can fit a 32 reel on a wide rim. Just to wrap this up, Chris. If you were doing like a ladder board, like recent bike you've ridden, S5 at the top, then between Seeker Spear, Windspace D1600, Quick Pro DR1, any other ones you've ridden? I'm forgetting?
Well, I suppose we can go all the way back to the Bianchi and the Medina.
The Bianchi and the Medina. There we go. Stack them up. Let's go.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's.
You crashed your S5. And
Hey everybody.
So, if I crashed my S5, I will build up the Quick
Just
Pro
doing a training video here.
Run it with 40 mils of spaces. I'll do that.
Okay.
Second would be this. The third, sorry.
I want to say thanks to all the new subscribers.
And purely because I think it's fast. I know it's fast. I like the ride feel of it.
You guys are helping me in my quest to
What else have I ridden?
a whopping 50.
Trek,
The Bianchi and the Seeker Spear.
and the
Appreciate
Seeker
that.
Spear next.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to go live.
Yeah. I think down there then.
Who's getting the sticker?
I'd run with the dome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bianchi.
Yeah.
That's just so.
Yeah.
It's so heavy and it's smooth.
It's
But that's not what I want. So
smooth like it is.
smooth like a
Okay.
I reckon I could dial my position in the dome. Fully dial it and get it full time. So
Get some good wheels in there.
full dial, no dial. Good custom.
Alright. Well done.
I do think it's interesting when everyone set out to do this. Even Windspace themselves are pushing the like the SLC bike.
Yeah.
They're really pushing that as their premium product. I feel like these aero bikes are good enough to fall through.
Yeah.
So,
How fast is this?
sure. Thank you, and thank you to Windspace giving me a chance to ride their rig and test it in the meantime.
2026.
Yes.
We are here, and of course, people are going to put up their predictions. So we've got Hambini and Sam rate bikes. They put up the 2026 predictions. We're going to go through all of them. And do we agree or disagree that this is going to happen? Get the crystal balls out first off. Hambini thinks Campagnolo is going to get bought by a Chinese company to just use brand name. So that's some Chinese Kiwi camping.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening. Ultimately, where's Campany headed is probably can't live off its heritage that much longer. It's got a brand name that potentially something like Wheeltop. I mean, Wheeltop got involved with Rotor,
Yeah.
so that's already sort of something that's happening. Probably a good thing is you need a third player in this space that's actually relevant because Campy's not relevant at the moment. I don't know, what do you think?
We had an example you said where he had was it a Dell ThinkPad or that ThinkPad laptop? And then it was bought by Lenovo and it was like a Lenovo ThinkPad. And that was his. I was like, okay, I could kind of see that happening. I just don't really get if Wheeltop buys Campy and then you have a Campy swap electronic group set. Doesn't really, well, you kind of put Campagnolo on and people are going to think it's nuts. So if a Chinese company's gonna do that, they have to be doing something at least slightly different to SRAM and Shimano. I could maybe like a Chinese company buys Classified and Campagnolo, and then they come up with some integrated system there, and it's a Campagnolo branded that's doing something different. I could see, but just some sloppy Chinese L2 by Campagnolo, and it's the Campagnolo EL.
People keep missing, anytime they talk about Campy, the people that talk about this seem to be living into this illusion that everyone knows who Campy is. They forget the fact that the COVID babies that come in, Campy is completely irrelevant to them. And so this concept of Campy getting back to the, what are we talking about? Relevant to the current sort of generation of people who are coming into the sport. So you're right. They need to come in with something revolutionary, something that's actually worth talking about, other than back when so and so used to do stuff. Of course.
Yeah. Something that deserves the campy sticker to be taken seriously, if you actually have a serious problem. But could be happening. Next one, he says, tubeless dead, tubeless decline, the rise of the TPU tube. We're going to take over. Mainly because he said it's messy, and if you leave your wheels sitting and you don't ride them with a few wheel sets, it clogs up, and you've got to replace it, and it's slide up. Now, I've got a few things on this. We even noticed in Gold Fast 5. I mean, this is TPU tube. This is all good. TPU tube here, I've got TPU tube, I've got TPU tube. We see it in that. I kind of agree. We wind the clock back. It's 2020. Hero Continental, sponsored by KWT, which is an Australian importer, which was Stan's Maxxis tyres, the tubeless ones, and campy boilers for the boys, decided we were running tubeless. So I think that was 28 Stan? Was it a 28 tubeless?
All right, here comes the real work. The interval work. How was the warm-up?
If people start to go away from tubeless to TPU tubes, people might not realise why we even have tubeless in the first place. And the reason why, at least as a team, we did it back then was to...
Ready? Here we go. High five, low five, all five, fight, fight, punch, gun, work, gun, home run, yum, yum, fist bump, there you go, chop, chop, chop. Piggyback, school snack, big whack, done. Italy, Sara Lee Love.
Keep your cadence high so you don't bog down the trainer. This trainer, it's holding the wattage for me. I just got to pedal.
The slide shows what happened back in PNC manual hybrid with HMV. You can expect significantly more lean muscle mass gains over PNC manual hybrid by itself. So if you do the game, or if you try to 7 minutes smaller by making the switch, transfer to high speed to HMV.
reasons. Firstly, to stop pinch flights. And so we had the boiler wheels which didn't have the valve hole, so it was easy to play and set them up. And I think you and some other people were running them through this on the bars. Back in the day, you probably run like 90 or 100 PSI. And then we went super low, and like you would probably set them up at 70. And you were going, this is so much more comfortable. You fatigue less, fatigue less the earnings. But you couldn't just do that with a tube because as soon as you hit high, then you push that. So going a tubeless allowed for lower pressures, which was a performance advantage at that time. And simply puncture protection. With tubeless tires are just thicker, so you puncture block. And if you did puncture, the sealant filled it. But really, it wasn't even the fact that the sealant filled the holes. It was just that when you went to tubeless, you just got less flats because there were more puncture protection. So what I would say would be, and this is where maybe I even would go to TPU tubes as an experiment, because I'm kind of going, if we're all going to go back to TPU tubes, have we solved the issue of pinch flating at lower pressures? And have the tyres improved so that the pump protection was as good? Because at that time, I'm pretty sure we were still the GT4000 S2, which we trained together. You were doing 20 hour weeks back in the day. I was a fortnight. Yeah, you're on the side of the road flat. Now, we don't even take spares. It's just, if I get a flat, I'm in a river. Because you just don't really flat. So, if I'm going back to TPU tubes, I need to not pinch flat, and the tyres need to have improved. And I haven't ridden a GT5000 in a pinch of them, so I don't know if the puncture protection has improved. If those two things have been solved now, with maybe the wider rims and the bigger tyre volumes, you're not pinch flatting much, better paint protection just in the tires. I could see. Yeah, you just don't take any tubes because the reasons you went to tubeless in the first place have been fixed.
Yeah. I will quickly add, one of the other reasons we went to those is because we come off racing on tubulars. So we had a fleet of tubular wheels that you would set up for a race day. So the concept then of being able to go to a reliable race day wheel that was also your everyday wheel was like a massive saving essentially for the team, because then we just halved almost the amount of wheels that you were running, because you were running a wheel that was performing just as well and didn't have the catastrophic
There's some fluctuation there when I go from seated to standing.
Flats and fixes, go run the tubulars and come in more lights.
So I'll agree with him. Well, we can't disagree. TPU tubes are coming back. Is it enough to get me to jump over from tubes? No, it's not actually. I don't often ask people for that. Specifically, pitch flats and pump protection. Has they been improved in 2026? If it has, I'll give it a go. If not, I'm still interested. Next prediction. We sort of said this sub 1 kilo 50 mil deep wheel will be mentioned. And less spokes will be standard. Now he didn't really comment on if this is a performance gain or he didn't kind of go into that. It was more the idea that pretty soon it will just be, is your 50 mil sub a kilo? Yes or no, then it's a no. What do you reckon?
I genuinely hope this is not reality. I just don't like the way that rides. I think you heard me around about this, I just think we're chasing a spec rather than a performance here. And I hear what he's saying. This sportsman standard, I just haven't ridden this deep wheel. I don't know, it's sub 11 and
3 more minutes
so
of pain.
I just don't know who the person is who wants this, unless it's just some like rides once a week and wants a snappy feeling and then doesn't ride for the rest of the week. This is a battle and bruised from that experience. I don't know, it's more spectacular.
Yeah, I think I disagree on this being a 2026 trend because like the frame weights haven't continually come down. People have started to go, okay, my bike weighs 7.5, but it does all these other things I want, so people are kind of happy with that. So I don't know, I think there will be enough people that go, you know what, whether it's 980 grams or 1100, 1200 grams, I don't care. I think people will feel that enough where they can push back. So I wouldn't agree with that.
I also think this is incredibly niche. I mean, you're not going to see specialised, giant, reserve, any mainstream brand touching. That's all going to be a giant as well. And so therefore, I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. Next one was that continuous because it's F1 effect. So the examples were the aero coach hubs, the scope hubs, and some steel frame thing that was up to scratch. So that would keep happening. The brands will create these products, don't really test them, don't have any units to make them that well, but they'll just say this is like special. And they'll keep it. I agree. I don't always think that's a bad thing. Like sometimes there are legitimate gaps left in the market, and then you're relying on a non-mainstream brand to fix that, or to give you what you want in that regard. So I've got an example here. And it's not always got something to do with it. Like for example, the aero glide. Like That didn't come from Rafa or Estelle or their assets. That was, I don't know the first person who did it, but Rule 28 made it popular. I think also Motrins had a version of it. And it's these niche companies that produce this stuff. Thankfully, Narrowbar is not going to make you run into a ditch because you've got players. But, and yes, sometimes it's junk, like but I don't know, I wouldn't sort of turn my nose up to the F1 tech marketing stuff. Sometimes it's actually good. That'd be what I think.
Yeah. It's like the factor thing. To make noise, you end up making claims that are just ridiculous. And you just feed into this exaggerated consumerism that doesn't actually move the conversation forward ultimately. In its third generation of products, it might, but that might be 5 years away, and in the meantime you need to find the profit and the capital investment to get to that phase, and the only way to do that is to sell the first generation product, which potentially isn't actually up to snuff. So yeah, I mean, it's part of the problem about an industry that's not actually active. And so when the industry's like kind of working around the margins anyway, you are kind of exaggerating performance advantages that make it. Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong, it's going to continue, but I would argue it's always going to continue.
Well, similar line is next claim is that dubious claims will continue in 2026. So his example is one of the new factor. GCN changing their opinions. This is another example we had was cleaning your bike with a pressure washer was a really bad thing to do when they were sponsored by Markoff apparently, and then it was like, oh no, it's totally fine to do with Ceramic Speed. So their opinion seemed to change depending on what the sponsor's products would have. But that kind of stuff we think will continue. I think we will all have to like, okay, yeah, that's it's more it happens because brands get away with it.
Yeah.
You say your product
Great.
is 10% better and it's not illegal. Well, you can't get punished for it legally, I should say. And even if people go, oh, this is a joke, in the back of their mind they go, it might not be 10% faster, but it could be 4% faster. Even if it was 1% faster, that's how the whole game works. So you get away with it. So of course it's going to continue because it works.
Cycling, Jesse, is just one big contract. So the marketing, it's just one big contract. It's like when we first started the show, guess what? Freewheeling tours, you know, that was the check in the bunch, and that's what cycling marketing is. It's just the same sort of shit bubble chat that kind of makes its way out of the bunch and into the marketing. So
On that, so while we think this is going to continue, I agree. I think the complete opposite will get more popular. It will be the absolute clean as anything, full transparency white paper will come. And as a way of like, if you're a small brand to break through, what do? Go back to market bank, put it all on the table if you actually have a good product. And people will speak about it and you'll say. So, now back in the day that wouldn't work because Bicycle in Australia wouldn't do an article on your product. So that wouldn't work. It's social media. So if you put information out, it will work its way through the pack. So I think the other side of this will definitely is going to be more and more so. Last one, we had some comments about what cycling YouTube is going to do in 2026. So we've got one name YouTubers like Dave Arthur's decline, and then GCN will pivot to more lifestyle adventure style content, like they've already been doing. I think part of his reasoning was that because of AI and the aggregation of information, the pull to go and watch the Dave Arthur video is arguably still less, because it's like if I just wanted some kind of sort of
quite subtle.
Yeah, just some quite like high level, not too in the details over the but I can kind of just get that with a point. And then I'm really that tempted to watch a warranty video, problem or not. That was what MD was kind of getting at. I think I kind of agree. I wouldn't necessarily say one-man YouTubers are decline. I mean, in other spaces, the one-man show, a pump with a politics. One-man shows, that's what people want. You get the character that's engaging, the charismatic, and they just keep pumping it out. So I think it's not that the one-man will decline, it's just channels are going to have to get funnier or more entertaining, that kind of stuff. Or more sort of aspirational stuff, like geez, that's what Juice and Luke like. They're doing more of that lifestyle stuff.
Whether you call yourself an independent
Yep.
contractor, a gig worker, or a freelancer, Zach calls you a friend. A friend who just like an alligator with an accent. So let's get them over with.
Actually, it really kind of
Oh, I'm out of the saddle.
in some way. Like, it all kind of, there's Danny Higgins spilling the beans on intricate, really detailed, and then they are who come up with.
You can tell by the RPMs.
So we did one of those.
61, 62.
I think they're still in that. But also, yeah.
As for one-man band, I don't necessarily agree. I mean, the way YouTube algorithms do it is it's prioritizing more humanity. It's right out when they humour, entertainment, anything that isn't just reading script because it feels out as power generated and therefore gets it put down. And the more human-based stuff is prioritized. So it's kind of funny because if you look at campaign stuff itself, it's funny. I find this channel funny. I don't necessarily take it very seriously. It's funny, and that's why it's successful, I think. And YouTube likes that. And I think that's a pretty good precedent for what a successful channel can look like in 2026.
That was a Houdini predictions. We're going to go with Sam Rates Bike. So this was he's done from Cycling Weekly, so he's on the channel. His predictions were more sort of tangent focused. First one was that brands only making aggressive race bikes or endurance bikes will be over. So the brands will double down on race bike for the masses. Like back to the Monza, the Massive, and the Specialized Papers too. So just reiterate really have to do them saying. Instead of going, you either buy this back-breaking race bike or this slot grand final bike, they will double down on one
245.
slot of the real more.
Not much reprieve, but a little bit.
I've been doing this for a while. The race bike, the factor one becomes more and more irrelevant to the everyday still performance focused amateur, and they are then, instead of the old endurance bike, they're giving the do-it-all. And the do-it-all is just that, the kind of middle of the ground aero tweaked feel. Yeah. I mean, I think that an interesting one this year will be the Soloist, because that's a brand that's
One more.
So it's still pushing the 3Ts. What it does with the Soloist to me, because the Soloist, let's be honest, it's nothing really to talk to. So who buys the Soloist? That's an interesting question to me.
Yeah, that's right. Aero bikes are going one full Latin, full swing. The bog standard aero bike is the aero and the done. That's what it is. And he does say, even if it's a branded exercise, that's going to end up selling your more pain version of the bike, because it would run the floor. I think it might happen. I still, this is going to sound hypocritical because I've been flogging the air bike for so long. I still kind of see it going, unless you're really stating a case of if it's faster, how much faster, some absolute spaceship thing is compared to the Canon Aero. And you're kind of putting the cart before the horse. Or you're just producing these bikes. And it's exponentially faster in some configuration. But I don't know, how faster is it? They got the marketing things, or it's not even really marketing, but the branding teams have work to do to convince us why we should buy a spaceship over a Canon Aero. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe that is absolutely done. And the only reason they're doing it is just to get eyeballs so you can buy their more standard version. So I'm going to say I'll agree with that as a prediction. It could be all has to come.
The problem also with Southwest is we still have that, and it's even ingrained in I've seen the protocols, that they still have the aspiration thing of where King has it, Rempar has it, or Kaya has it, I want it. And it's hard to switch that off in the brain. So if we're going to be riding a spaceship, I still want that, you know? They're the cookies. That's the
Yeah.
way.
So Sam thinks you're going to have everyone just goes back to hook or micro hook. Hook to hook. Micro hook is some kind of hooking going on. All the hooks. All the hooks. All the bottom hooks back on. Whatever works about there, when you change it.
Physical, KX, Zip, Limited.
Yeah, I probably say disagree, especially for everyone starts running 42s. Because you're going to keep on the tube and it's really light, and so everyone just, and then the light is hard to avoid and how to get away with it, because it's just so low anyway. Yeah, I disagree. Unfortunately, not that I'm very good at disagree.
Well, I mean, KX is the majority of the players, and the probably needs a new set of KX race wheels, which are, they're just, exactly, they're just so, this is, they're still huge.
KX is a real market
ها النهاية دي cool ده.
Or, no, it's not a transfer, they're a trim follower, definitely. But what that wheel looks like this year will be,
That'll gradually go down.
because they've rejected everything to do with Formula 1. So we'll see.
Next one out, Kudos is done with baseball team for you. Again, same as San reckons we're known for. And it's because these are the Eagles. Yeah, we already said that one. Next, final one. Dropping weight for race bikes across the board. I highly agree with this. I reckon man's going to realise that if you just build your bike properly, you can take 300 grams out. You don't have to change the frame. Just put some lighter weights in. High bolt package out of the box. Stop. High bolt, stop. Lightweight for actual stop. And you finally in the hundreds, you can claim, oh, good, why is the bike back? And the layout's the same. So, yes.
Yeah, that's all right. My only addition is the geometry chart. I still think it's the, so every year I've had a year off. 2025 is the year of the aero bike. I think we can safely say that's come to fruition. 2026, year of the geometry. Year of the geometry. I was initially thinking it could be the year of the layout. But
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit down the track. Then what I head around it. 2026 is the year of the geo. Everyone will just know the geo charts. You close your eyes and you see these little geo charts up there. That's where we're headed. That'll be first. Right, before we move on, Jesse, Killer Nutrition, back involved with the Hero Show and performance.
Thank you very much. They've got new product adding to their protein range, plant-based protein for you vegans, vegetarians, non-dairy consumers amongst us. It is a mix of pea, fava bean and pumpkin seed protein, and then the big one that's in there is they do have their enzyme blend that's in there just to help with digestion with a whole range of different enzymes and some in there that will help break down the protein in there for Easy digestion.
Quality's really good. I've been big on the whey protein, the isolated grass-fed one, which, as I discussed earlier, midway through last year, wasn't giving me the same gut issues that I was getting from the normal proteins that I was using. So yeah, the quality is bloody good on this stuff. But you do pay for it, and so that's something to keep in mind.
If you are competing in a drug-tested league, it's important for patch testing just for peace of mind in that regard as well.
Now we're still sorting out our codes for 2026.
Yes.
There'll be a link down in the description below. If you do want to go ahead and purchase, please use that link for now. And we'll make sure to update that with the discounts and the price
If
difference.
there is a discount, it will be as part of that link. If there's not, then use the link anyway.
Yes. Do you want to ask about Jessica? I think you have a 4 of them.
6 or 7.
Here's my entry. I've got the price box. The Sonella SR team is my Lisa bike. It's 10 Boots race bike.
Oh, it's nice.
Boogies. It is a frame size of 65.
Holy God. What do you mean 65?
Is that a real fit? No, that must be on
No,
stuff.
let's go. Yeah, that's
Teach is 190. Is it Teach? Teach. Teach is 190, 1.9 meters tall. He's running 5263s, which is an old Warriors. He's running, this is literally
What
Teach.
is much of that T-shirt, you know? What's the big deal with Teach? Have I missed some results or something? Or he used to,
I think he's a transfer. Anyway, you have a look. So this is, I mean, this is Teach.
yeah.
It's the older S-style. Silver hot wraps, chains, running the tax bottle cages, got Shimano Dura Ace pedals, FSA old Tegra gel cork bar tape, Victoria Corsa 29. This team spec. I designed a 3D printer to space on my custom fit Garmin 1050. Oh yeah, okay. Weight as shown in the photograph is 7.75 kilos. In the climbing setup, you get 7.3 kilos. FTP is 270. Hopefully this makes the show.
That's much better wattage from cool down.
Package for system optimization.
On the fastest side. Yes. So there is Pro Bikes. Full Pro Bike setups. Okay. Now, I don't like this as a general rule. It's to own. I find it just ages very quickly.
You mean the colour?
Just everything. It's a vibe. I mean, if you're riding a Pro's bike, it's a vibe. You're not just doing an accident.
And that,
I
as
mean,
they
it's
say,
a vibe.
is that.
I rode that exact bike minus 700 millimeters of seat post. And those exact wheels, and that exact chambering, and that exact ribs.
We don't need to go up that hill.
Maybe things are different where
I'm gonna cool down a little bit more at the wattage I want to be at.
What's the vibe here on a Pro Bike? Just run it, all good, kick the box, move on.
And then I'm gonna do a few short sprints,
Okay. Yeah, all good.
probably in the 500 watt
Okay.
range.
Keeping in that same space, bike 2 is an S-Works SL8 pseudo quick-step car. Size 50 unit. Little fence posts there. Counterfeit. Yeah, this is the Roval Rapid.
Feel free to leave a comment.
20, Roval Rapid Sprint CL.
Maybe a question or two.
GP5000 STI set tubeless. These bucking trim, particularly new tubes. Brakes set up as E1, old gen rotors. Cranks 165.
And we'll see you on the next one.
1033.
Probably stage 2 of the Monday Mafia Syrup Crit. See ya!